In 1997, the company Matrix Software released a game called Lundra for the Sony PlayStation. Despite being a blatant knockoff of the 2D Zelda games, it was fairly well received, and even got a sequel. The sequel was made by an entirely different company, and tanked, and thus took the series with it. However, fast forward a bit to 2002, in the era of the PlayStation 2, and Matrix returns, this time with a knockoff of the 3D Zelda games. This game had the misfortune of coming out 6 days after Kingdom Hearts, robbing it of most of its target demographic, and as a result, nobody played it. That is, until today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play Duel Hearts. I don't really know what the title means, but I'll offer a few thoughts as we continue to play the game itself. I don't have a loaded game, so let's just start new. We'll play on normal, because as it turns out, it's actually impossible to get 100% completion on expert, and I'd like to try to do that with this playthrough. And the game doesn't waste any time. Right into our first cutscene, right in the middle of business. You can't actually fast forward text, which is pretty annoying for a game with no voice acting, but we'll put up with it for now. And we have a destination, Sano Island. And an objective, Dreamstone. I don't know who this guy is, but he doesn't appear anywhere outside of the scene. This guy, however, in case you've never played a video game before and can't identify the young, spiky-haired fellow as a protagonist, is our hero. Note that we have not been given the option to name him, nor has he been addressed by his name, which is kind of odd. I should note, it's a little odd that no one thought to come to Sano Island looking for this before, because as it turns out, it's not as well hidden as you'd think. This guy's kind of got a Rain Man vibe going on. I don't really like his sprite animation. Prestigious title, huh? Yep, he assembled the Silver Monkey and got out without angering the temple guard, so he must be pretty good. And now, for something completely different. Welcome to the Dream World. This is something I like about the game, in that, as opposed to a lot of other lower-budget PlayStation titles that around this time went to cel-shaded graphics and make up for the fact that they didn't really have high polygon counts, this game makes up instead for using really bright textures that really convey the fact that you're going through dreams through most of the game. Also, I have no idea what these things are. Some kind of pig, bunny, dog thing? Maybe? This, by the way, is our other protagonist. The counterpoint is supposed to be that the human one is a prodigy, and this guy is basically completely incompetent. It doesn't really matter because you control both of them, but sure, let's just go with it. This is the Queen of the Dream World, actually about what I'd expect. This looks important, and I do believe, I mean, I don't know how well the previous scene framed it, but this guy supposedly has a reputation for being incompetent. You might want to send more than one of them. I mean, this does seem to be of sort of worldwide importance, maybe? Yep, definitely important. So, that's it. He takes the keys, gets the orbs, and that's the end of the game, right? We can spend the rest of it baking cookies or something. Yes, no. No text option? Darn. And competence, preferably. Baku. Okay, so Baku is apparently Japanese for bunny, pig, dog thing. I know that now. Okay, so he's a legacy character. See, in the real world, this would be good enough to get you into Princeton University or something. But apparently here it's enough to get you entrusted with the safety of the universe. Check out that action pose. He's ready. Don't forget a lunch. But he's thoroughly incompetent. However, it was in red and we got to see it, so at least we know it's important. Anyway, here's Sono Island. As you can see, it was important enough they built a bridge to it from the mainland. It's kind of got like a Shadow of the Colossus thing going on. So you'd think this place is pretty heavily trafficked. And on top of that, this is the Dream Temple. It's just right there on a hill for anybody to walk in. Yeah, I mean, I understand this particular type of temple was designed to be opened by the keys, but the Baku actually teleports directly in. The rest of it was designed to keep people out. And it's not really doing a very good job of it, nor is it particularly well hidden. But let's let this guy use his John Q. Public here, use his expertise and see if he can solve the puzzles himself. Get inside. Signs point to yes. And I don't know who that is. Moving on. She can't possibly be important, right? So that rainbow energy, the thing covering the door, represents dream energy. It's the same color as dream energy we'll need to collect in the game, which is kind of a nice link. The other two rooms. You see we've got a little map there. And like a lot of games, Dual Hearts assumes that you've never played a video game before in your life and have the intuition of a sea cucumber. So we do in fact apparently need a tutorial on block pushing rather. I like that the block is already slightly moved out from the door, which kind of implies that some other explorer came by previously and sort of pushed it a little bit in before deciding to hell with it and getting a ladder. But our everyman over here is obviously into doing things the hard way. That's some champion Ruin Seeker intuition there. That's one switch. The second room must be a step up, right? Because that first one was really an insult to our intelligence. Or not. See, they went ahead and put water on the floor so you can't just drop a ladder, but then they installed a ladder in the wall, so I'm not really sure who they're trying to keep out. Also, you'll notice I sort of dropped off the ladder there. That's because apparently X, the jump button, is context mapped to drop when you're hanging on to anything, which is pretty annoying. In any case, your civilization has discovered switch pushing. You are now worthy to enter the temple. But first, a cutscene. I wouldn't really say they're rivals, because apparently she couldn't even figure out the block or the ladder. Well, I guess she figured out the ladder because she wound up here in the first place. Oh man, he's pretty sharp. That seems dangerous. You really shouldn't be stomping the ground like that in ancient ruins like this. You cause a cave-in. She's got a point. I mean, technically, we are in her way, but I'd like to think that will continue to be the case, since I don't believe she's capable of getting anywhere by herself. Anyway, moving on. So far, so good. No major catastrophes yet. I mean, I would normally say that putting a key into a door should be pretty easy, but, well, I mean, we already saw the results. I guess I was wrong. You'll notice there are 7 glowing dots, and there's supposed to be 9 holy instruments. So, spoilers, he might have actually not failed as badly as we think he did right here. Oh yeah, this, by the way, is the protagonist talking to Val, not the Baku yelling at the keys. Oh god, catch it! With your face! She listened. Alright, so we only lost 6 plot critical MacGuffins. The other one is right there. Close enough. Ow. Oh, there we go. That's just what I was thinking. Oh wow, he's cracked out there. He doesn't seem freaked out by this creepy talking animal at all. Well, most of them did. He also talks. Yeah, that should be a clue he's not a pig. And that's weird. You're probably insane. And it's time for some actual gameplay. Here we go. I'll show this loading screen once. I'll try to cut it out all the other times. It's actually pretty nice. Anyway, here we are. A Strange World. The game is nice enough to tell you exactly how much of everything is in every world you visit, because it does vary from world to world. It is not nice enough to tell you that the vast majority of the items hidden in every single world are not usually, typically, more than 50% accessible on your first trip. Check out the health meter. I'm not going to dignify most of these actual puzzles with comments, because it's basically just basic training. They're introducing you to every element in the game exactly once to make sure that you can recognize them when you see them later, but there's something particular that you haven't seen before in a million other video games. In any case, back to the health meter. Notice that it's jewels instead of parts. There's something distinctly, like, sort of plagiaristic about this game, where almost everything was ripped directly from another game, but very, very slightly changed, either in terms of the name, or if they couldn't come up with an esoteric name for it, they changed a function just ever so slightly to make it, like, unintuitive or something. So it sort of drives me crazy. They could have made those hearts, but instead they just sort of, I don't know, triangulated them a little bit. Anyway, on this ladder, nothing to say here. Notice that we can't actually see the ground, so it's kind of a blind jump. It's a little annoying. And check it out. Yeah, I wonder what I have to do here. I say that, but then they go ahead and tell you anyway. Oh. I guess he's not blessed with any kind of, like, amazing dream strength, despite the fact that he's in, you know, Val Subconscious as opposed to being in the real world. He's exactly as strong and good at pushing this block as he was in the actual temple. And yes, here I'm stuck because I can't get the camera to rotate behind him. There we go. Moving on. As it turns out, everything takes, including falling off the side, takes off exactly 1 health meter, which is kind of aggravating, especially right now when you don't have a very large health meter. And here we go. This is actually a really important tip, because in somewhat poorly designed games like this, where the camera has a habit of getting stuck in a wall or up your butt or any number of places where you really don't want it, the solution is almost always to center it behind you as often as you can. And I try to follow this as much as possible in the early stages of the game, but it's not really an instinct that I'm used to, so there are going to be some rocky spots. Anyway, now that we've gone ahead and tracked this path, let's do it in reverse, but slower. Go us. Moving down. And that buzzing noise is me attempting to move the camera vertically, but apparently I can't do that here. These are our health pickups, actually. For some reason we have to actually open the box. And that's in case we happened to lose any health. Now I would have been full. Anyway, the next area. And actually, maybe not so much, because oh no, it's the end of the episode. We'll find out what that is tomorrow.